Forgot to take that tag. Anything but, I mean,
Good afternoon. Nice to see all of you. It was nice of the Bears to move their schedule to tonight so that we could all be here. My name is Jim Stephenson. I am a composer and conductor of this piece you're about to hear. I want to tell you why this piece even exists. About 100 years ago, 1918 to be exact, there was a war going on. The Great War, I guess it was called back then, right? And composers who usually write or want to write our music for orchestras and have it performed as much as possible, if you're in Russia at that time and your name is Igor Stravinsky, it's not easy to get your music performed because of this war going on. So he took it upon himself to come up with an ensemble that was a smaller group of musicians that sort of represented an orchestra. So if you look, we have 2 strings, high and low, 2 woodwinds, high and low, 2 brass, high and low, and then percussion. So it's like a miniature orchestra. And he partnered with a librettist, Ramuz, and they created this story that they might take around the country with a more economic orchestra, if you will, and still have his music played. So what is this story, you might ask? Well, it's a Faustian tale about a soldier who's coming home from war, and he, on his travels, he meets this strange character who is disguised because it is the devil. And the devil gets interested in Joseph, this soldier, gets interested in the violin that he's carrying and wants to learn how to play it, and says, all right, I'll tell you what, this is the devil talking. I have a book, and if you do all the things in this book, you will be rich beyond your wildest dreams. And of course, this interests the young Joseph. And so he goes and hangs out with the devil, he does all these things. The problem is, it was not 3 days, it was 3 years. And so he comes back, and his fiancée is gone, and she's all married off, and all these things, and everybody thinks he's a ghost because the devil has tricked him, and it didn't go as he planned. So the moral of the story is that you don't want to try to acquire everything. You should be happy with what you've got instead of trying to get wealth untold, as the story goes. So that was the Stravinsky tale. 10 years ago, somebody approached me to write a piece that would go along with this instrumentation because it is very colorful and very fun. And so I agreed. And as I started writing the music, I realized, oh no, I have to tell a story too. Because I'm a composer, I'm not an author, but I have to come up with a story. So I was thinking about the Stravinsky, and the Stravinsky I played a lot in college. I'm a former trumpet player. And one of the weird things about the Stravinsky is it ends with this, can I say drum instead of percussion? He's looking, I'm gonna say drum, okay. It ends with a drum solo. And I always thought that was strange. But I decided I'm gonna start my piece with that drum solo, percussion solo. So you'll hear that at the beginning. And then I thought, well, if I'm going to start with Stravinsky's ending, I'm going to end with his beginning. So the whole piece then essentially becomes a backwards form of the Stravinsky. And then I thought, well, if I'm going to do it backwards, let's have some fun with that. And if you look in your program as we're going, all the titles are palindromes, right? Words that can be read backwards or forwards. And you will hear our illustrious cast of Luke, Jihan, Patrick, and Joe. And you will hear little palindromes in their tale as they're talking. I invite you to try and see if you can pick them out. Because if you hear a little bit of weirdness, like say something that doesn't quite make sense, it's probably a palindrome. I'll just give you that hint. But none of that matters if the music isn't enjoyable, and we can't do that without an audience, so I'm glad you're all here, and I hope you enjoy the music, the story, and everything of my sequel to Stravinsky's Soldier's Tale. Mine is called The Devil's Tale in a Church. I hope you'll So, we present it to you now. Thank you very much. It may be confusing if you don't know who the characters are. Luke is a narrator. Jihan is princess. Is that okay? Hannah. She's Hannah because there was a princess in the original Stravinsky, so she's a showgirl in Vegas. Patrick is Joseph, a musician in Vegas. They are together. And Joe is the devil in Vegas. Now you know. Here we go.
It was all just a dream, but it seemed so real, so true.
What seemed real?
Hannah asked, waking up on cue.
The devil, the fiddle, and you as a princess, all of it.
So I'm not a princess? I'm not fit?
Please tell me you'll stick by my side. You won't be lost. Through thick and thin, no matter the cost.
But Hannah has left the room, and our story must resume.
I need to get warmed up for the show. Big premiere tonight, you know.
Yeah, it's great, but I am so sick of this life. I want to go home to Tulsa, Joe, and someday be your wife.
I know, babe. Me too. Just trust me. See this through.
Joe hesitates leaving the room, then crosses the threshold. Walking anywhere near the blackjack tables always makes him grow cold. Unavoidably, he passes near the table of Sam Hill, a dealer, an agent, the devil.
Hi, Joe. Always good to see you, but never as nice to see Hannah, too. She's a good one, you know. Quite the catch. Some rifts between us I'd like to patch.
Hannah's still asleep. She's my girl now, you know. We all must choose. You reap what you sow.
Ever so slightly, Sam winces, not taking Joe's words too lightly. Joe continues facing his foe.
We can all only star in one show. You must follow your path, your dream. No one else's life to live, it would seem. One thing's for sure, from my view, you sure do like showgirls, don't you?
Wouldn't be seen with anything less. And you? Come now, confess.
Why do you contribute to such sin? You sit here all day taking people's money in. You're a snake. and how you treat and own your girls, all at what stake? Your heart is a sieve. Have you ever really lived?
Oh, yes, I've lived. To have my life what you wouldn't give. As for the girls, I'm doing my civic duty. Care to place a bet? A couple hands, maybe 3? Right, you quit. What was the reason?
Civic duty and a certain agreement.
Of course. Maintain our pact, no more trips to the table. I'd like us to avoid such public scorn, seeing you unstable. Usually I wouldn't allow Hannah, my talent, such frivolity, to sack up with you, a musician. Bad company policy. But if you keep her at top level, keep her my best girl, well then, I'll gladly collect my share from her. My own precious pearl. The new show, what's the name again?
Starts tonight, never odd or even.
Interesting name for a Vegas show. Tough to bet on that, though. Reminds me of a riddle, something about which I used to fiddle. Never odd or even, I prefer pie. On desserts, I stressed no. I prefer pie, never odd or even.
What is that nonsense you believe in?
Just something to consider, in case you lose something precious to a higher bidder.
Whatever. I gotta go. Can't wait to get out of this place, this hellhole.
You kidding? I love this place. Someday I'll own it.
A smile washed across his face. Joe leaves the table to warm up for the show. Hannah is already stretching, having arrived a few minutes ago. Sam pops his head into the room. Joe and Hannah know that wherever Sam is, evil must loom.
Why, hello, Hannah, my friend.
He winks again, meant to offend.
Don't forget our little deal. Too soon to pack your bags quite yet, I feel.
Hannah is confused. Joe upset, not amused.
Joe, what was that all about?
Nothing. It's all fine. In a week, we're gone, no doubt.
Joe, what isn't fine?
Trust me, Hannah. It's all part of the design.
remember our deal. Perhaps this would appeal.
He hands Joe a deck of cards, who recoils at the sight.
All will be fine if you play your cards right.
By lucky stroke of chance, Joe notices Sam hurt at the end of the dance. Watching Sam limp away, an idea strikes Joe for another day. It is the day of the opening, and on the street is Sam advertising for a show to compete. Come see Wicked One, the best show in town. Forget Never Odd or Even, spoiler alert, where in the end the main character goes down. Get your tickets here, 2 for 1. But then again, you have time. Odds are that soon the other will be done.
What's he doing? Pawning the other show? Doesn't make sense. Not at all, Joe. Why does he do this? I'm on his roster.
He's crazy. He's a monster. Damn it, I'm mad. We're being maligned. I'm going to go give that little boob a piece of my mind.
Joe walks over to Sam in a hurry, each step increasing his fury.
That's it. Okay, you win. I'll play you in private for the girl. Just say when. If I win, all contracts scratched, and Hannah and I leave for Tulsa. No strings attached. If you win, I leave and she stays, and you may resume your evil ways.
Oh, gonna come back to my table, eh? May not be good for you, or so they say. It must be in private. I know you agree. Can't have a repeat like last time for all to see. Deal! If I were a religious man, for you, I'd pray. 1 week from today, we play.
Joe returns to Hannah, not as quickly, deep in thought, looking somewhat sickly.
I can't believe his foul play. This isn't fair. What did you say?
Just letting him know that I'm not your average Joe. I'm someone to be dealt with, you know.
The time has arrived, everything in place. Everyone having prepared at a furious pace, cast and crew rehearsed and steady. The audience now in their seats and ready. The show has commenced. About 20 minutes in, Hannah's big number next to be danced. It is later that night. They are back in their room, alone by themselves, out of costume. The show was a big success. Hannah a star, nothing but good press. Joe begins to unravel his plan, slowly, carefully, to be sure Hannah understands.
1 week from tonight, at the table with Sam, I'll play him in cards, allowing him the slam. I will lose again and again, as he grows ever more confident with each win. That night, at the show, you will injure your foot. That final jump in the last dance, come down hard. Make sure it hurts. You'll be done off the show. Sam won't want you. He'll pretend you're someone he doesn't even know.
But Sam is my boss. He owns me. He won't want the loss.
Trust me, Sam won't want you for keeps. He only dates working showgirls. He's one of the world's biggest creeps. Make the injury a good one. Make it for real. It needs to look like the leg is shattered from knee to heel.
It is 1 week later. Joe and Sam play cards, Sam confidence increasingly greater. It is crucial that Joe succeed in losing, of course, fueling Sam's greed.
There we go. A king, a 3, an 8, 21 again. Victory is surely my fate. Now I've won! And again, a jack, a 2, and a 9. Oh yes, this is all going fine. Now I've won! Look at you, you're getting redder and redder. Perhaps you should give up. Might be better. Now at one! Now at one!
Fine. After the show tonight, I will leave. I have lost. You get the girl. For me, this is my cost.
It is again time for the show. Joe and Hannah are nervous. Hannah on stage, Joe in the pit below. There can be no mistake, more than just two careers at stake. Joe is getting anxious in his seat. So far, Hannah's performance can't be beat. The pressure is much too great. Joe begins to hesitate. Hannah falls, hurt, and is carried off stage. Sam runs to find them afterward, enraged. But Joe finds Sam first, Joe acting in despair, while Hannah sits nearby, crutches against a chair.
Congratulations. Hannah is all yours. I'll pack my bags. We've settled all scores.
Are you kidding? She can't dance anymore. She's no good. Take her. Get out the door. Quick, take her back to that awful place that I don't know what. Tulsa. Nightlife, filth, gin, a slut.
He motions toward Hannah. On the final word, Hannah is obviously offended at what she overheard. But Joe grabs her, and they run out to the hall. Hannah leaves her crutches behind, no sign of a limp at all. Sam, realizing he's been tricked by something even he couldn't predict, begins to devise a scheme, realizing things aren't always as easy as they seem. Part 2. Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's the holidays. Time has passed. Things have progressed a ways. There is a small storefront decorated with holiday decor. The store has a sign, Lucy's Fur. Lucy's Fur. Joe and Hannah are walking downtown, Hannah humming loudly, happy at the new life they have found. A travel ad for Vegas sits in the glass pane. Joe looks at it and begins to miss life in the fast lane.
Hannah, there's not enough going on here. We're totally off the radar. It's clear. I feel like life is passing us by, like a race car on the fly. It's just so boring, never odd or even, always the same easy living. I want to have fun, no worries. Life is a gamble, right? A series of crazy stories, Let's be bold. No one knows what the future holds.
Sam is now disguised as a woman peddler. Dismissed at first by the couple as a crazy heckler. He tries to sell Hannah some furs. She dismisses them. They show no allure. But then Sam offers something of note. With this fur purchase, 2 free tickets to Vegas, was the quote. This is too much for Joe. He talks Hannah into the fur. Hannah takes the tickets and puts them in her purse.
I need some coffee. I'll get you a cup too.
Sam and Hannah carry the transaction through. Joe returns, coffee in hand.
Here you are, honey. Your favorite brand.
Hannah, looking at the coffee, obviously frustrated.
Did you forget and get caffeinated, Joe? I can tell. Drinking this stuff is pure hell. And you know the saying to avoid trouble. Lived on decaf, faced no devil.
An argument between them ensues, and Sam leaves, smug with success and content to deceive. Joe also departs to fix his mistake. Hannah is alone and begins to think.
Maybe it is time to try once again. I believe dancing still lies within.
Hannah is again approached by Sam, this time disguised as a talent agent up to another sham.
Madam, I'm Adam, and I have an offer. I need a new showgirl in Vegas. Might be good for the coffers. The show's called Name No One Man, and it's clear where you'd stand. You'd be the perfect lead for sure, and your salary would be...
He whispers in her ear. Hannah is, of course, flattered, suddenly intrigued.
Seriously? Can you level with me? Is this real or rigged?
Yes, it's true. But rehearsals start the day after next. We must go now. No time to reflect.
Okay, off we go then. We'll catch the next flight. I happen to have 2 tickets, and we'll be there tonight.
Sam walks ahead, and Hannah quickly jots a note. Joe, hold on to this fur, she wrote. I'm following the dream, just as you said. This isn't the life to be led. Joe returns soon thereafter, finds everything, and reads. Angrily, he throws down the coffee and fur, not knowing how to proceed. The scene shifts back to the strip. Sam in his element, having given Joe the slip. Time has passed. Sam and Hannah are a couple, though somewhat miscast. Joe has returned to Vegas to try to win Hannah back. No one speaks to him. He's been given the sack. Having quit the show, he's off the list. For musicians, he doesn't even exist. Hannah is with Sam, of course, basking in fame for which he is the source. Joe watches them from afar, his heart still broken, now beginning to scar.
I have to have her back. I need a plan. She has to know I'm her man.
A few days later, it is mid-afternoon. In a Vegas casino, Joe spots Sam not a moment too soon. Now, disguised as a top casino owner, Joe motions to Sam, inviting him over.
Care for a quick game?
Sure. What's the aim?
Stakes are high. I can't say. Let's play. Or are you too shy?
I'm intrigued, for sure. Let's see where this goes. I feel secure.
They play. Joe loses, and again loses some more. He offers Sam a drink, and then another 4.
I should probably stop drinking before going adrift.
Nonsense. No. Tie it on. You haven't lived.
Joe pours Sam another drink. The bets still rise. Finally, he offers, looking right into Sam's eyes.
I tell you what, I'm out of dough, but should I lose again, I can offer the casino.
They play again. Sam eager for the keys. It's only a matter of time as he wins with ease.
Here you go, the keys to my office. The door's over there. No need to be cautious.
In his excitement of wealth untold, Sam runs to the door, barely controlled. He struggles at the lock, the keys, of course, being of the wrong stock. He fails to notice, while furious at the task, the police coming, no questions to ask. Taken away under police protection, he passes Joe and Hannah, glancing their direction.
You tricked me, Joe. You caught me in your butterfly net. Beat me at my own game. You won the bet. Evil did I dwell, lewd did I live. Alas, no devil lived on. Can you ever forgive?
You were a liar from the beginning. It's all primeval. One can live not on evil. I get it now. I had it all wrong. I prefer pie. Never odd or even. Had both backwards all along.
Now, turning to Hannah, more conscious of his thoughts.
I had it backwards, Hannah. I got lost in spots. Looking for happiness, I kept running all over the place. All along, it was right in front of me, in front of my face. I get it now. I was such a bother. We don't have to be odd or even, one or the other. We can have all the numbers, forever and ever. It's like pi, ending never. It may be irrational, but I prefer pi. And this is why.
He takes her arms and continues on, wanting to get it all out before the moment is gone.
No one knows what the future holds, but you can take hold of your future. Be bold. Sure, life's a gamble, but we keep moving on. For sure, I can tell you, now I won.
Joe repeats it again, a little slower this time. He wants his girl to hear 3 words so sublime. Now I won, he says. Our lives have just begun.
Joe, let's just start anew. Tulsa, okay with you?
Okay with me.
But Hannah pauses, a distinct change in her complexion.
Joe, it might be time to go in a new direction. All of this betting and bidding between the two of you guys, as if I'm to be won like some sort of prize. You even had me fake being hurt, and he called me the worst of names. And all for what? So you could win me in your little card game?
A taxi pulls near, not far away. Hannah motions for it, a few words left to say.
The world has changed, is changing, Joe. Stop living in the past. We women have forever been dealt a bad hand, and it is our time. My time at last.
She walks alone to the cab, slowly, decidedly getting inside. Joe, stunned, watches her, his recent happiness now suddenly denied. Just minutes ago, he had the world in his hands. Now, no hopes, no dreams, no plans.
Is it I? It is I.
Joe looks this way and that, his future now uncertain. From a room in the casino under police interrogation, Sam smiles from behind a curtain. Joe, now alone, leaves the casino. He has his bags in tow. It's dusty and hot outside as he walks down the road.
How about another big round of applause for Jim? That's an amazing kid. So creative, so inventive, all the colorful writing, I just love it. And speaking of Jims, we have another Jim on our board. We're honored that our board is made up of Jims, Carlas, and Roberts. So Jim would like to talk a little bit to us? Sure, okay. 1 second.
So I'm going to talk This was not planned, apparently. So, this being the weekend of Halloween, I ask you, if you dare, to imagine a world without music. Totally without music. No violin. No bass. No oboe. Bassoon, nothing. No trumpet. No trombone. And certainly no percussionists. Nothing at all except the low hum left over from the Big Bang 13 billion years ago. Just silence. And into that silence comes the International Chamber Artists with beautiful music, provocative music, as they've done for 15 years. 15 years, free to everyone who wants to come. And they do that because of what you do in your gifts to the ICA. So those of you who are here live and have put a little something in the basket on the way in, thank you so much. Any of you who are still fumbling in your pocket for a little something to put in, if you would, on the way out, do the same. Those of you, especially who are watching this live stream, before you leave, click on that little button and make a gift so that ICA for the next 15 years can continue to make beautiful music in the silence.
And before we do just one more little reprise of one of the movements for you, I just wanted to point out, you're all very special for being here today, but there's a special visitor here. His name is Father Bart Winters, and he hired me at St. Gregory the Great Church back in 2003. It was my first church job right out of my master's degree. He hired, and we started ICA at St. Gregory's, so he supported us there, and he's right here in the front row, Father Bart Winters. Thank you, Father Bart. Yes. Okay.